Time to learn about being a flight instructor. We're back with more Real Life.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of soaring through the sky in an airplane, enjoying a bird's eye view of the earth below. Not to mention that it's a quick way to get from one place to another. Plus, you don't have to fight traffic. How would you like to learn to fly? And if you have a real passion for flying, how would you like to share that passion teaching others to fly? Sean found out what it takes from Ron McNutt, a certified flight instructor with Air Orlando.
And today we're here with Ron, and you are a flight instructor.
Yes.
So what does all your job entail?
Well, we train pilots, whether they want to fly just recreationally or go all the way to becoming a commercial airline pilot.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been flying for over 5 years. I've been instructing for just over 2.
Okay. Now, I mean, were you always interested in planes and stuff when you were younger, or did you just kind of fall into it?
Learning how to fly was something I've always wanted to do, but I didn't actually decide to make a career out of it until probably just about 5 or 6 years ago, when I just kind of had some downtime after I got out of the Air Force and just decided, you know, I want a career that I've always wanted to do and that would be fun and exciting, and so I thought, I'll just become a pilot. You know, why not?
Now, did the Air Force kind of prepare you a little bit for the training to become a pilot, or?
A little bit. A lot of the folks that I met were pilots, but I was enlisted, so didn't do a whole lot of flying there.
Yeah. Now, is it depending on what type of plane you're flying? Is that depending on what kind of training you have to give a person, or?
Well, usually it's the other way around. The kind of training will dictate what kind of airplane they're going to be flying in.
Okay.
So if somebody just wants to be a private pilot, they'll be flying in like a Cessna 172 or in another airplane similar like the Diamond behind us.
Okay.
But if they're going to be going on to becoming a flight instructor or a commercially rated pilot, they'll be in something a lot larger.
Now, what's the most complicated part about training? I mean, people that come in that they don't know anything about the planes.
Really, the biggest thing is just studying the material. The flying part is actually pretty easy once somebody feels comfortable in the airplane.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're nervous, if students are kind of apprehensive, you know, it's a lot more difficult. But after 3 or 4 flights, that brushes off and it becomes real easy for them.
Now, getting your pilot license is just an accomplishment in its own, but I mean, becoming an instructor to teach other people how to fly planes, what's that like? What's the process for that?
Well, in order to become an instructor, you have to get quite a few things. It always starts with getting your private pilot license first.
Okay.
That's your basic license to fly, kind of like a driver's license. After that, you get an instrument rating. The instrument rating allows you to fly through clouds and adverse weather conditions. After that, you get your commercial pilot's license, both either single engine or multi-engine license. And then from there, you can become a flight instructor once you have all of those ratings.
If someone wanted to follow in your footsteps and maybe become a trainer or maybe a pilot one day, what advice would you give them today to start doing now to prepare themselves for later on in life?
Basically, go to an airport and check it out. Talk to pilots, see what they have to say about it, see if that's something that they're interested in doing. And then once a person decides that this is what I'm going to do, just keep that idea and that dream alive, because flight training can be difficult sometimes. But if you have a goal and you're working towards that goal, it'll make it a lot easier when you're in the midst of all the studying and the flight training to stay dedicated to that goal.
Now, when a person comes in and they do start their training, I know you don't throw them into the plane the first day. What kind of tools do you use to kind of get them prepared, to kind of get them to feel the same way that they would feel if in a plane?
Well, there's nothing that takes the place of the actual experience of being in the airplane.
Yeah.
But the next best thing is our flight simulators, which are full motion, that also help depict all the flight instruments and the gauges to help get a student warmed up to what it's like. But right after that, they're in an airplane fairly quickly after that.
What's the best part of your job?
Oh, the view.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, when I'm up there in an airplane, there's no better view in the world. It's really an amazing experience.
Now, you were telling me about the flight simulators inside. Can you show me some of those?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Awesome. Let's go check it out. All right, so we're here in the simulator. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on in here?
Yeah. Right over here we have all of the flight instruments that a pilot uses to orientate the airplane.
Okay.
Also over here we have what we call the avionics, which are the radios and all the communications equipment that we need to talk to other pilots and air traffic control.
Cool. Now, this is like the dual control, right?
Yes.
Now, you have the simulator here, and then out there is where the trainer is sitting. right?
Yes.
The instructor would sit.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that they play what role in this?
The instructor usually plays air traffic control and gives the student clearances and instructions to follow. And then the student inside here obviously needs to comply with those instructions while flying the airplane in a safe manner according to his gauges.
Now, does the simulator also move, or does it stay still? I mean, how does it all work?
This simulator is full motion. Usually we just close the curtains, throw our student pilot in here, and let them fly the airplane as though it was the real airplane.
Well, thanks a lot, Ron, for taking some time out to speak with me, and maybe sometime I'll come train with you and fly a plane one of these days.
No problem. It's a
Nice meeting you,
pleasure.
man.
It's a challenging process to become a certified flight instructor, but the payoff in getting to spend your career in the skies is pretty cool. Some people use this career as a stepping stone into obtaining employment with an airline, corporate, or charter company, while others stay in it for the long haul. This is not your 9-to-5 job, as you do your instructing during the students' free time, quite often on nights and weekends. A lot of flight instructors do this as a part-time career. If you're interested in a job as a flight instructor, check the internet for information on the many flight schools that offer certified flight instructor training.